Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, once again with the Knicks having a chance to get better, to break down another one of these small goals, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they can go 3 games above 500 tonight with a win over the Dallas Mavericks. They can have their first 5-game win streak of the season. They just accomplished one goal of having a 4-game win streak. They're doing things. They're moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks take on the Dallas Mavericks tonight at 9:30. You can watch the game on ESPN. Remember, they lost to Dallas just a few weeks ago. They lost by double digits. Lost by double digits to the Magic. I mean, to the Mavericks, not the Magic, to the Mavericks. I do think they can beat this team. I'm going to tell you what. They're going to have to be able to score better than they did the previous game. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, neither one of those guys could hit the ocean with a piece of sand. They were off like crazy. We're going to change that tonight, though, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks versus the Dallas Mavericks. Let's get some guys over here. Let's talk about this game tonight. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be intense. It's going to be another one of those games that go down to the wire. I believe it is. We'll see, because I thought it was going to be like that the other night versus New Orleans, and the Knicks ended up with a 10-point lead down the stretch of the game. So we'll see what happens tonight with the Mavericks. You see, we got Andy in the building. We got Cornerstone Kev. Looks like he's got the dusty cap on today. I don't know. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it, ladies and gentlemen.
Caps with
what you saying there?
Logo,
what you saying? What you saying there, Kev? You said it's not the dusty cap.
Straight out of the washing machine.
It is not. Watch it. I was just washing clothes too. Andy, you are. It's not the dusty cap, man.
Okay.
Old
okay.
logo. Okay?
I thought it was the dusty one. I thought it was the dusty cap. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
It is not. It is not. Man.
We'll see if we get a visit from our friend today in the chat. I don't know. We'll see if we get a visit.
Probably.
You know, we'll see if we get a visit from Kev's dusty hat. Anyway, the Knicks play the Mavs tonight, man. What do you expect? Andy, I'll start with you. What do you expect tonight?
From the emotion standpoint, I think Julius Randle, as the leader of the team and as a guy that's actually from Dallas, this is his hometown, I'm expecting a huge game, and at least he will be the guy that is going to be trying probably the most to get us this W. No, we, of course, have some hurdles before the game even started.
Yep.
And, Alec Burks getting put on the protocol.
Yep.
So let's just hope it's, just a false or, unconclusive test result. It's not actually he's not actually infected, because that would mean that he's going to be out for quite a bit. And I don't think we can afford this at this point of the season. So, just to add, to the fire, this is going to be a revenge game. We lost to the Mavs, like you said before, and I think every player on the Knicks, this squad is built that way, and the coaching staff probably pointed it out to them. I don't think they even had to point it out, but they know that they are trying to get this W double, hard, just to be just to settle the score 1-1 this season.
Yeah. I want to go back real quick to Alec Burks. Before we get to Cornerstone here, I want to go quickly. We'll look at the injury report, then we'll talk about Alec Burks for a second. Burks, he's out tonight due to health and safety protocols of COVID-19. Nerlens Noel, he's questionable tonight with an ankle. Of course, he was out against the New Orleans Pelicans. And then, of course, Mitchell Robinson is out. Excuse me. if he is out, that means if he's out, dude, if he has it, right? Now, if it's contact tracing, that's one thing. If it's a messed up test or whatever, a faulty test, that's another thing. If he has it, we see how long Derrick Rose was out, right? So if he has it, first of all, you got to deal with the sickness, and I hope that he's healthy. I hope that his family's safe. That's first and foremost. I want him to be safe, and his family to be safe. But then, of course, so he's got to recover, right? And then he's got to go through. I think for the NBA, you've got to have 3 negative tests before you can play, right? It could be, and of course, with Alec Burks, he was coming on as one of our closers, maybe the primary closer for this team, and it definitely. It can definitely hurt this team. As I announced to many people yesterday when we did the shoot around, I recently had COVID, and I tested. I tested positive, and then my second test was, maybe a little bit more than 10 days later, I tested positive again. Finally, my third test, I tested negative, but some people can test positive up until 3 months after they no longer have symptoms. They may not be contagious, but they can still test positive. So, I'm hoping the best for Alec Burks and his family. But, of course, we need that brother in uniform, man. We're in a crucial stretch of the season, and it's tough. Let me ask you, if he's not here, what do we do? What do we do come down? What do we do come down the stretch? Hey, Steph, what do we do come down the stretch? Who are we playing now?
Are you asking to Andy or are you asking? Who are you asking?
Well, I start with you, Dusty. I start with you, Dusty.
Wow, my goodness. I've earned Isaiah taunts now. This is good. It's good I can see your face now, because I couldn't see your face before and everything. So it's good I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah, so here we go. First, salute to the chat and salute my brothers and sisters on the panel. We can look at it at a whole bunch of ways. With him out the lineup, that's I don't know how many points he's averaging, but that's
like 12, 13
those are
points
that are okay. So that's 13 points that that's off the board right now, and they've got to be made up. Can they be made up? I believe they can, but it's his versatility that I'm questioning. That who's ever replacing him, that I'm going to that we're going to need. Everybody, it's going to have to be all hands on deck now because we're down Mitchell, and now we're down Burks. Now, if it's what you first said, if it's not, if he doesn't have COVID, if it's a negative test or something like that, okay, we could deal with that. If he does have COVID, that's going to be a problem for us, and we can't afford to have too many chinks in the armor. We already have it with Mitchell Robinson, in the middle, but we've held our own. With this right here, now we've got to get all the guys that are on the bench to replace him, in check and in motion. So I believe tonight. Well, here's the thing. When I was thinking about tonight's game, I'm thinking that he's playing, but now that he's not, I was thinking how for this matchup, Frank has to play, has to be on Luka. That's his only assignment. So it's like a subtraction of the points for defense, offense for defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which means that Frank, as much as I'm saying this, Frank has to be on point with this guy. He's played Luka great in the past. He's played Luka really good in the past. He hasn't held him down. He's only contained him, but he's contained him enough for us to win the game. So that's what we need, out of Frank right now. And I believe, because it looks like Tibbs has been, giving these guys, enough confidence that when they do come off the bench, that they can, be successful. So that's all we're going to, see tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So let me backtrack just a little bit, because having somebody come off the bench and play games is one thing. Having somebody close down the stretch is another, right?
Yes.
And Burks has been closing down the stretch. So, yes, you may see Frank or Knox play minutes in lieu of Alec Burks. But down the stretch, Alec Burks has been our primary guard, our primary point guard down the stretch of games.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're talking down the stretch now,
right.
it's going to be probably Derrick Rose or IQ or Alfred if he's having a good game. It's going to be one of those three guys who play down the stretch.
I guess what we're saying with that is, I guess it's going to be the who has the hot hand and who's rolling, the best at that position, pretty much. Because we talked about it yesterday how it looks like who's going to be a closer, our closing people on the floor was going to be Burks, RJ, Randall, Bullock, and between Noel and Taj, probably more Noel than Taj at times. Who's ever rolling, the best. But that's what we were thinking that was going to be the closing of the game was with those guys. Now that he's out, and I'm hoping that it's like you said, I'm hoping that it's just for a couple of games that he comes back and everything. But if he has this, it's going to be a big chink in our armor.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Steph, what's your take on it?
Can you hear me? I have new headphones.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was having problems earlier.
Yeah, they look good.
Listen, I just found out that Burke is not gonna be out. It changes everything for us. I think we was just getting in the groove, just getting into having somebody who can move down the stretch pretty consistently. But without him there, I'm not looking forward to Randall taking the last shots. I'm not looking forward to him down the stretch. And I was just thinking, I don't know if Tibbs would do it. Would he draw up a play down the stretch for Burks as opposed to Randall? He just seems more composed, more clutch. Now, without him being there, it's probably going to be more Randall down the stretch, more not so good shots, in my opinion, even though he's our best player. So down the stretch, I guess Rose. He's played well the past, game or so. I guess it'll be him. Quickly may or may not. I mean, he's a rookie. You can't really count on him. This is just not the best
time.
This is not
16 games left. 16 games left. Yeah.
It's definitely not the time.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. If I had to put my money on somebody down the stretch,
Frank.
Not right down the stretch. RJ.
I'm trying.
RJ. Clutch work. I'm gonna put my money on RJ.
Yeah, and hopefully RJ has a hot game tonight. We need Randall and RJ to score tonight. The last time we played Dallas, the duo between the two, they shot 26% from the field between the two. Randall shot 25%, and I think RJ shot 27%. Right? You definitely can't have that from those guys tonight, especially with Burks being out. Those guys really got to step up and make sure that they're doing their part. And then we need Bullock and we need Rose, to step up and score the ball. We're going to need Peyton to score. And we're going to need Quickly to have a night. We'll need Quickly to have a night, and get 13, 14 points tonight. Get his average. That's normally what he averages. Get his average and maybe a little bit more. If we can get those things from him, from those people, we'll give ourselves a chance. We'll see if he decides to substitute Kev not Kev, Frank. Or Kevin Knox. Frank or Kevin Knox in the lineup for Alec Burks. We'll see if he decides to do that. And that's probably I think that's going to be decided on how the game is going. If the Knicks aren't scoring, you'll probably see Kevin Knox. If the Knicks need to get stops, then you'll probably see Frank Ntilikina. So I think between those two, who plays is going to decide on the game.
And here's another thing, Sim, to think about closing the game, because what Tibbs can do, he can do that towards, like, I guess the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, switch offense and defense, on that. Because now, if you have Frank out there, you literally have two guys, and Bullock and Frank, if Luka tries to do that switch and everything, one of them can actually, can be on him at all times, pretty much. So there you go.
Say that again.
What I'm saying is, Tibbs could sub at that point guard position. He could sub out between Rose and Frank on offense and defense. Just so somebody's on Luka, because you figure that Bullock is still going to play. Is going to pretty much close out the game, pretty much. So you have Frank and Bullock out there. One of those guys can be on Luka at all times on the defense and everything.
All right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think guarding Luka tonight, it's going to have to be a team basketball game, similar to the way that we did to Zion with New Orleans, right? If you paid attention, when Zion had the ball, just about everybody was stepping off their man. Everybody stepped a little bit off their man to cut off those driving lanes for Zion and forcing him to move the ball, kick that thing back out to shooters. Now, if shooters start to make shots, then you might have to change up just a little bit, how you're defending them. But I think you start off by, doing something similar to what you did to Zion Williamson. Cut off those lanes, force him to be an outside shooter, which he can do, right? He can be an outside shooter as well. And he's crafty, he's smart. You can't you got to put pressure on him, play the passing lanes with everybody else, and then, and then see where it goes from there. That's the way that I think you guard them, right? So I think it's going to be a team game. It's not just going to be one guy that locks him down. That's not going to happen. It's got to be the team being very mindful of what he can do, where he wants to go, where his tendencies are, and then also paying attention to who's hot of the other players.
Right.
Is Hardaway Jr. hot? Is Kristaps Porzingis hot? Right? Who's hot? Who's knocking it down? And then make sure you got a guy in their face. So it's really, I think a lot's going to come down to matchups. And the way that we defend those ancillary parts. A lot of games we let those ancillary players, have good nights. I think tonight we can't do that. Don't let those ancillary players have good nights. If they get their averages, that's one thing. Don't let them have a monster night. A couple of guys, if you're going to keep these guys below their average, as far as scoring is concerned, a couple of these guys you're going to have to shut them down. I'm not talking about KP and Luka. I'm talking about the other guys. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, this is Joe. This is Joe Neckbone. I'm calling about the Knicks.
What's going on, Joe? How you feeling?
Everything is cool, man. You know who you need for the closer? IQ and what's the other guy name? Start with an A. I can't remember his name right offhand.
Alec Burks. Alec Burks ain't playing tonight, man. He's not playing tonight.
He's not
them
playing
two
tonight.
need the ball. They should be able to close.
Alec Burks ain't playing tonight, bro.
Well, then let IQ do his thing.
Well, we'll see if he's hitting tonight. If he's hitting, I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau will have him out there. If he's not hitting, he won't have him out there. We're going to see the way the game goes, man. All right, Joe Neckbone. I appreciate you, Joe Neckbone. All right. Oh, tell you what, boy, you got some characters come out of New York City now. I'm trying to tell you. You got some characters come out of New York City. We went over the Knicks injury report, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Alec Burks is out tonight due to health and safety protocol. Nerlens Noel, he's questionable for tonight. And, of course, Mitchell Robinson is out. For the Dallas Mavericks, for the most part, they're healthy. Tyrell Terry is out without a timetable for return. But for the most part, they are healthy. When you look at the lineups for tonight, the Knicks are going to try it out, most likely Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Nerlens Noel. And the Mavs have tried out Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, Darius Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, and Kristaps Porzingis. All right, we've seen these guys before, and we're going to see them again. Listen, Jalen Brunson, he gave us a couple of fits last game, right? And, that kid can ball. He's good. He gave us some fits. We're going to need Elfrid Payton and Derrick Rose to be on their game against that kid. Don't let him start knocking down threes, because if he does that, we'll be in trouble. Right? Reggie Bullock, he's going to have to, play Luka best he can. So I have so much respect for Reggie Bullock, man, because, he's always taking on some of the toughest challenges in the game. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Right? R.J. Barrett's going to have to, do his thing on Finney-Smith. Julius Randle should win the matchup with Maxi Kleber. And hopefully Nerlens Noel is going to go tonight. He's questionable. If he goes, he's going to have to, be mindful of KP. And maybe even, we're gonna have to defend this screen and roll so that KP doesn't get so many open shots from the top of the key, right? Because they'll run a little pick and pop, bang that thing out to KP, for open three at the top of the key. We're gonna have to figure that out because we don't want KP to kill us from there. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want him to kill us from there. Let me get to a phone call here. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, Sam. How you doing? This is Bruce.
How you doing, Bruce? I'm good.
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you I feel good about the game tonight. I think the Knicks are going to take them. And but I also wanted to get your guys' opinion, your opinion and the panel there on Nerlens Noel and how well he's playing defense compared to Mitchell Robinson. I love Mitch, but I think Nerlens, to me, is a better defender, and I wanted to see what y'all thought about that.
I agree. I do think he's a better defender. I think he's got better balance. That's one thing. I think he's a better shot blocker as well. Right? I mean, Mitch gets blocked, but I think Nerlens Noel is a better, more strategic shot blocker, if you can say that. I think Nerlens Noel does a better job, not just swinging at the ball, but being, understanding when I can go get this block, when maybe I can't get this block, and I can just try to, make the guy, take a tougher shot or something like that. So I think it's a little smarter in that way.
Yep.
And
do you think
understanding
to the point where that. Do you think that he should start when Mitch comes back?
Well, because Mitch adds something that Nerlens Noel can't. First of all, Mitch has more size than Nerlens Noel, right? He's 7 foot. He's probably, when he comes back next year, because it's not going to be this year, when he comes back next year, he may have put on a few more pounds of muscle, right? So he may have started to fill out into them big wide shoulders that he has. And he provides the vertical spacing that Nerlens Noel can't.
Right.
So he can. So like with Nerlens Noel, you can throw him a oop, but it's probably gonna be close to the rim. With Mitch, you can throw it up high.
Yep.
And Mitch can go up and
get it.
And I think that's a big threat. You know what I mean? I think that's a really big threat. And Mitch is still a good defender. So I do think I do think Mitch would keep his starting job because he just offers something that I don't think Nerlens Noel can offer. And Mitch is a better rebounder than Nerlens Noel.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. I enjoy your take. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. But you know what? To have both of them, I think is great because both of them can block shots and play defense. And so you have dynamic shot blockers on your first and second team. So it's great to have both of them.
Yep. Well, they're gonna have to give Mitch his money. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Take care, brother.
Take
Talk
care.
to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Yeah. Having both of them out there, man, is so dynamic for the first and second team because Nerlens Noel in the second team, he anchors the defense, which we don't have right now, really. He anchors that defense and really does add a boost to the defense of the second unit.
Do you think he's going to ask for a big contract for next year?
Well, he wanted to make more than $5 million this year, so I think he's going to ask for a little bit more than that next year, yeah.
I'll wait. Okay. All right.
Yeah, let me get to this caller. Caller, you live. What's popping?
What's happening, Sam? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm good. It's Chris from North Carolina. Hey, man. This one thing I want to say is that, it does suck that Burks is out tonight because these rotations of past few games have been pretty exciting, man. You know what I'm saying, with getting these dubs. I was looking for number 5 tonight, and I know we can probably still pull it off, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But my question is going to be when I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when we make the playoffs, how tight do you think that Tibbs is going to make those rotations? I mean, he's already pretty tight, but how much tighter do you think he's going to make them?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it goes down to at least a 9-man rotation, maybe even an 8-man rotation.
Oh, God.
I do. I do.
That right there, that worries me because I think that they play a little bit too much in the third, and that's why they're so tired in the fourth.
Yeah. I just think I do. I think at least Obi, and that is a problem, right? Because you want Julius Randle to be able to get some rest. But I feel like in the playoffs, Tibbs, and this is just my opinion, that Tibbs is going to kind of feel like we have no room to even give up a minute of lack of defense or lack of energy or lack of focus. And that's why most coaches shorten their lineups,
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to ask is, I don't know if you caught Jonathan Macri's podcast, but he was talking to a guy from Dallas that's connected to the Dallas Mavericks. Mm-hmm. And it seems there's a lot of infighting going on between Luka and Porzingis.
Really?
So hopefully that plays to our advantage. Now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get a chance, check that podcast
out.
I'm
gonna check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out before the game. I want to hear about that. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the call. Have a good one.
Salute to the panel too, man.
Yes,
thank you. Salute to you.
Huh? That's something. That's something.
So you believe that in your gut that he might, when we go to the playoffs, that he'll go to an 8-man? You think?
Yeah, he might cut Obi. That's definitely. I think he's gonna cut those minutes. And the other guy might be Emmanuel Quickly.
Could be.
I
don't know. For one, he's a rookie, and I think he's gonna give more minutes to D Rose if he's gonna be still on the bench, depending on the healthiness of the bench that we're gonna have. So
I mean, listen. That's what one of the reasons why they do that in the playoffs is because there's a lot less travel, right? So it's a little bit different. Yeah, the games are more physical, the games are tougher, but there's a lot less travel. You play your 2 games at home. You play a game. There's a game. There's a rest day in between. You're not practicing at all.
All right.
Okay. So it's a little bit. It's a little bit different come playoff time. Although still, it's an aggressive game.
Yeah.
Tough game.
Okay. All right, so a couple things with that. One, I honestly can't see him. I mean, maybe Obi, but I honestly can't see him not playing IQ. I really can't. After all this, this year, the body of work that he's done, I really can't see him doing it. Hey, what's up, G-Man? See him doing that. And the second thing is, if he does that, the only youngster on our team that's going to get that playoff experience is just RJ. So what you're saying is that you have no faith in those two, and RJ is the only one that's going to do it. So
he may play IQ, but I think he may get a quick hook.
Okay.
If he's not playing well, he'll get a quick hook.
Okay.
But the second thing is, you can't be playing people because they need playoff experience. You have to play them because you think they're going to help you win the game. This is not training ground. This is not a scrimmage. This is basketball. So we're trying to win. We played our butts off to get into this position. Unless we getting blown out or whatever, I mean, I guess a coach will say, all right, let this person have the experience. But when you're going in there to play, if he's earned it, he's going to play. And if you haven't earned it, you're not going to play.
All right. Then somewhere down the line, okay, if we're going with that premise, somewhere down the line of these playoffs, Randall is going to have to get a spell. He's going to have to spell him big time, or else we're going to tire him out. That's why I say, if you're not going to use Obi, I'm totally with it. But you have to use something, one of your resources, to spell Randall, because he cannot play, the whole 40, 45 minutes, whatever he's playing. He's got to get spelled. He's got to get spelled, and that's all I'm saying.
And Kev, just to add on this topic, it's not like we're talking only about Tibbs. It's like probably 80% of the coaches are going to shorten their rotation.
Yeah. And I have no problem with
if it's a championship, team, or it's barely graze the playoffs teams. I think it's most of the coaches that are going to shorten the rotation because in the playoffs, you can't afford sometimes even a couple of possessions, sometimes even 1-2 possessions going to decide the game. So they're going to be looking at from the first minutes of the game, like it's like last 3, 4, 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. So
yeah. So I guess I was going on the mindset of what Randall's going to look like if he's logging all those minutes in a playoff series. He's got to get spelled. He's got to rest for a couple of ticks or whatever.
Probably will. But,
right. But if we're going with the premise of him of Tibbs going with an 8-man rotation, how are you going to spell him? I mean, you got Rose, you got Todd, you got Burks, which I'm totally fine with. But who is going to spell for Randall? Who's going to spell for Northern Well? I guess that's what I'm getting at. We want our, and let's be real. Randall is our number one option. We don't want to have our number one option dragging towards the end of the game.
But you know what I would do, Kev? In a playoff series,
yeah.
I would play Taj behind Randall.
Yep.
He's averaging about 20 minutes a game. May have to go up to 25,
Right.
or 26. He looked pretty good for 35, to be honest. So they may have to do that. I mean, he's not going to play 48 minutes a game, but I don't know if Obi is going to be the guy. I don't know if Knox is going to be the guy. It may be more minutes for Taj.
Right. And that's what you do, because you can go, because Taj has the ability to shoot the three. Right. He may not shoot it a lot, but he can make it. We've seen it this season. He can make it. He can also shoot the mid-range game, shooting the mid-range. So you can play Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson at the same time.
Taj and okay. All right.
So you can play those two guys at the same time.
And then with that premise, what you're saying is when Noel sit down, you bring Randall back and you have the both of them playing. Is that what you saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So you can do it that way. But I do believe it's going to shorten. I just don't see Obi getting minutes unless the Knicks getting blown out, or they're in the dire straits.
Okay, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Well, somebody down below is not okay with that, but that's all right. We ain't gonna say what it is. But I just think shooting wise, I think we're gonna need IQ out there. If he's not giving it, then yeah, absolutely, yank him out and everything. But I think he at least needs a shot. For the shooting.
Kevin, it's gonna be like 2 shots, and he won't be able to pull up for the third one if he's gonna miss those 2.
Right.
Now he has a limit to 4.
You got a point.
I mean, I think other teams are onto him anyway. the defense tightens down. Even the teams that don't even have a great defensive team. Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be tighter in the playoffs.
It's going to be on there.
Yeah. Looking at tonight, looking at lineup. Well, we just looked at the lineups for tonight. My keys to the game for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, again, team rebounding. We lost the rebound battle to them in game one. Not by a lot, but by, I think 4 or 5 rebounds. We lost the rebounding battle. Again, we got to go out. We got to rebound that basketball as a team. I think we need to play Luka similar to the way we played Zion. We kept those passing, Randall was on Zion, and then other guys were really in those passing lanes, and they created almost like a triangle in the paint, right? So Zion, they tried to cut off his driving lanes, and I think that's what you do with Luka. You cut off the driving lanes, then make them respond to that. Of course, they're a better three-point shooting team, so if you're going to do that, you got to make sure that you're getting out on those 3-ball shooters. Got to have good closeouts. All right, so we're going to have to play defense on a string and have good communication. All right, listen, Luka's going to get his. We're going to need Reggie Bullock to just play tough defense while everybody else is in help mode. Ball movement and efficient shooting. We didn't have that last game, the last time we played them. Especially efficient shooting. Randall and RJ, they've got to score. They combined, they shot 26% last game. The last time we played the Dallas Mavericks. 26% from our 2 best players. That cannot happen. We need those 2 guys to be able to score. RJ needs to have a bounce-back game. It's been 2 in a row where he hasn't really shot the ball well. And then late-game execution. Again, we got to make sure we have that late-game execution if this game goes down the stretch. Take care of the ball. No turnovers. Good, strong passes. Crisp. Especially now that Alec Burks is out. You really got to pay attention to that late game execution. G-Man, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
What's good, Sam? What's good?
I feel good, brother. I feel good.
I think, first of all, like you guys mentioned before, I'm wishing the best for Burks and his family. Hope everybody's safe and remain healthy. I think for tonight's game, one of the keys, like I said, on the last game we had, 3 fundamental things we got to make sure we're confident. To your point, we got to make sure we rebound the ball. We got to make sure that we limit the turnovers, and we got to hit free throws. Those 3 things right there, if we play fundamental basketball, I think we'll be okay. The Mavs don't do well when they don't shoot well. If we can limit that perimeter scoring, we have a good chance at winning this game. I think that as far as rotation-wise, Tibbs will experiment a little bit with a couple folks coming off the bench to see if he can make up, not necessarily the offense that Burks gives us, but the defense paralysis to be able to stop those scores on the Mavs. And if you can do that, then I think that, the guys that we have that do score the ball, if Bullock got to have a good game tonight. I mean, he's going to play defense. I'm going to need him to score. I'm going to need them 16 points he gave us last game. And then, depending on how Tibbs kind of flexes the roster, they may give Randall a breather here or there. But this has to be a team win tonight. It's got to be.
Right. And that could be a tall order for Bullock, too, because he's defending Luka.
Yeah.
And then we're going to ask him to come down and really be on his game scoring. So it could be a tall order for him, but he can do it.
But here's the question: Is Luka good on defense?
Nope.
No.
I mean,
so he should. Yeah.
He's not a defensive player per se, right? But I think what Tibbs did in the last game against the Pelicans, we saw the Knicks play a little bit of zone defense, right?
Yeah.
That gives Burks a chance to not have to chase him around the court the whole game. And like you said, if they cut off those passing lanes down in the paint, that's going to limit them to strictly perimeter shots. And then you got to get out and disrupt those perimeter shooters.
Okay.
Right. And one thing you said about the free throw shooting, the Knicks shot, they were 10 for 10 from the free throw line the last time they played Dallas, but 10 shots is just not enough.
No.
It's just not enough. We got to do a better job getting to the line.
You got to make them call the whistle. You got to make them call the whistle.
Right.
I think if RJ is in the game and he's in his bag this game, I think he gets some of those free throw shots because he likes to get in the paint. and I think he'll force some foul shots. Hopefully, if they call him.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think we need to be shooting. I think we need to shoot about 25 free throws tonight, somewhere around there.
Oh, absolutely.
And in the last 4 games, we've been making over 80% of our free throws per night. So we could shoot about 25. That means we're making, we're scoring 20 to between 20 and 23 points, or 20 and 22 points from the free throw line. That'll help you out tremendously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But in order to do that, we have to be going toward the basket.
Exactly.
Randall getting his games when he's playing more on the outside. And listen, I get it. He's tired. He's doing a lot. He's carrying a heavy load. But still, get in there. Some of these players you see, they're not even trying to make the basket. They just going in there just to try to foul and get to the foul line.
Right.
I mean, the only one in his only one that I can say that tries to get to the basket, I just wish he would do more of it, is Peyton. He's the only one. He won't take the jump shot, but he'll take it to the basket and everything. And that, I guess that's what we need.
Yeah, I mean, he can't shoot the jump shot, so he's got to go to the basket.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he's got to. Now, he can hit a mid-range every once in a while, but
every once in a while,
for the most part, that guy's got to go to the basket. But no, you're right, though. We do need him to continue going to the basket and being aggressive, putting pressure on the rim, pressure on the defense, making them collapse. Now, what we need from him in some of those situations is to be more mindful of when to kick it out, right? Because he kicks it out late, right? He'll get in the lane, and when the double team comes, the triple team comes, he'll pick the ball up, and then he's got to be able to see, it's getting ready to come, get it out now while he's still on his feet. And the ball is still in good position in his hands, and he's still facing forward towards the rim and not with his back to the rim, right? Yeah. So he wants to, get in there. He's facing forward towards the rim. He can see defenses committing and then kick it out. If he could just learn to kick it out a little sooner to those guys that's out there on the perimeter. And then sometimes, he over dribbles, right? So he'll get in, and one way to get to the basket, he don't get it. Go another way to get to the basket. Sometimes he gets there. Sometimes he gets bottled up.
Right.
Thanks.
You know what I mean?
Thanks.
So that's where, But listen, it's late in the season now. He ain't changing it right now.
No, he's not. Okay. He's not changing
at all. At all. On it. He just won't close the game.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I got to jump off. We'll have a good game tonight. And thanks for having me on, Sam.
Appreciate you, man. I'm sorry I got you in late, a little bit late.
No, I'm not sorry. I ain't sorry.
Look, before I go, I'm going to need you to put that hat you got in witness protection plan. I don't want to see that come out from there, all right? Let's make sure we take care of that.
All right, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
Bro.
Appreciate you. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one tonight. I do want to remind you guys that right after we get off of here, we'll be done here in about 12 minutes to head over to the Queen's Court, because episode number 1 starts at 5 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. So please make sure that you are there.
Yes.
Make sure that you are there. And I am going to pin the link to the top of the YouTube chat so that you have the link, and you can leave right from here and go straight to the Queen's Court, just hang out there for a couple minutes, chat for a couple minutes, because, we'll be starting right up. So please make sure that you do that.
Absolutely.
Please make sure that you do that.
Excited.
I'm going to start with you, Steph. Does RJ bounce back tonight? He's had a couple of rough games. Does he bounce back tonight?
He has. I think he will. He's a very proud guy, too. So I think he sees and he knows that he didn't play well. And Tibbs put a punctuation on it. Sometimes you can hide, but he got sat on the bench. So he know he didn't play well, and the coaches know he didn't play well, and they didn't play him. So he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to have a good game for us, and I think he needs to have a good game for us without Burke. I mean, we're one down. Burke has become that important for us down the stretch. So we need a big game from RJ to kind of hold pace. I'm not saying we're going to win every game here on out. Be great, though. But in order to hold pace, we're gonna need RJ. It's just I sound like Josh now. We're gonna need RJ. He's gonna have to step up. He's gonna have to give us something. He cannot have a game like that. That's Josh.
Right. Exactly.
He just can't.
Kev, what do you think? RJ.
I'm not worried about RJ. I'm not at all. Even if, he doesn't have a good game tonight. But I believe he will. I know he will. I'm not worried about him. And he's proven that to us and to skeptics plenty of times. Yeah, I have a bad game here and there, but the next one, he's going to be RJ again. So I'm not worried about it. They need to be worried about him. That's what they need to be worried about. They need to be worried about him because the way he gets to the paint and the way he can shoot the ball from three now. Yeah, I'm not worried about him. He's going to get his.
Well, we hope so. We
hope so. But see, that's the thing. I'm not worried. I know he's going to get his. I know. I know. He's not going to have 3 or 4 games. I know. It's not going to happen.
Okay. Hey, I'm just saying we're hoping because we've seen in the past, and I'm not being upset with RJ or anything like that. I'm just saying we've seen in the past where, he going into a little bit of a stupor.
In the beginning,
like that.
In the beginning.
Okay. All right.
In the beginning, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
All right.
He's going to be fine overall. We need him to be fine tonight.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he's going to be fine overall. We need him to be fine tonight.
I think mentally he knows that. He knows that he has to be, especially now with Burks being out. He understands that he's got to hit almost 90% of his shots tonight. He's got to.
Okay.
And that's extra pressure.
Exactly. That's extra pressure. A little bit extra pressure. As we comparing the two teams, ladies and gentlemen, the Mavericks average 111 points per game. Now look, the New Orleans Pelicans, they came into the previous game averaging 115 points per game. The Knicks held them to like 106. I think that's what it was. I think it was 106. So, they did a good job against a team that can really score the basketball. And we saw it, right? We saw it, that they can have those moments where they really do light it up. I'm expecting the Knicks. The Knicks held the Mavericks to 99 points the last time they played them. So I am expecting the Knicks to hold them below their average again. The Knicks averaged 105.6 in his 4-game winning streak. They've been averaging 111 points during his 4-game winning streak. Of course, Alec Burks has been a big part of that. On average, the Knicks out-rebound the Mavericks by 2, 45 to 4, about 46 to 44. The Knicks averaged 21 assists. The Mavericks averaged 22 assists. The Knicks averaged 7.2 steals per game. The Mavericks averaged 6. The Knicks averaged 5 blocks. The Mavericks, they averaged 4. Both teams around 12 turnovers per game. The Knicks shoot 45% from the field. The Mavs are about 47. They also shoot 36% from the three-point line, but the Knicks are shooting 38%. Both teams around 77, 78% from the free throw line. But we got to get to the line to knock those free throws down. The Knicks and the Mavericks are about the same with points in the paint, about 44, 45. Second chance points, the Knicks, they average 13. The Mavericks average 11. And fast break points, the Mavs are only about 12, while the Knicks are at 8.8. The Mavs are led by Luka in points, rebounds, and assists. Of course, the Knicks are led by Julius Randle in those same categories. And Nerlens Noel and Willie Cauley-Stein lead both teams in blocks. Now, Willie Cauley-Stein is just under 1 block per game. So they don't have a whole lot of rim protection, but can we get to the rim? That's going to be the question. Can we get to the rim? I think that we can. I think we could pull this game out and get a win tonight. It's not going to be easy, but I think we can do it.
Needs a team effort. Point
team
blank.
effort. We need a team effort all the way around. That's exactly what we got to get. But hey, I think they're definitely up for the challenge tonight. I think they're focused and they have their eyes set on what it is that they need to do. I want to give a shout out to 007 Angelo. He said, truck driver that's been a fan of yours. I'm a truck driver that's been a fan of yours for 3 years. Love everything you do. Best Knicks channel around. Stay patient. Trust the process. I thank you. I appreciate you. And be safe out there on the road too, my friend. Be safe out there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button, please. And yeah, do that. We're getting close to that 15K those 15,000 subscribers, and we're ready to give away some Obi Toppin rookie cards. So please make sure you hit that like button.
And if we get to 50,000, I get the Obi jersey, right?
If we get to 50,000, I am going to frame that Dusty Knicks hat. A gold encrusted frame.
I got no words for you, man.
Okay, I'm gonna replace the Frank poster with the meme I made with you, bro.
There you go.
I still save that picture too.
There you go.
Do we have the link? Some people in the chat are asking for the.
Yep. I'm about to put the link in there right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and the show is right here on this channel, ladies and gentlemen.
Like I'm walking on a red carpet.
And I'm putting the link in the YouTube chat right now so that you can we're about to head over there. We're about to get off of this and head over there. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we won tonight.
Any last words? I'll start with you, Kev, since you were already
didn't mean that. All right, apologize.
Go ahead. Some last words, because we're gonna go finish setting up the show.
Yeah, I think we win tonight, and that'll be 5 in a row. That'll be 5 in a row for us. And then we play the Pelicans, and then we'll have a great homestand, coming up. So win this one on the road, and then go home, and then just embrace the homestand. Because I think after that, then we'll be on a long road trip, right?
Yeah, 6 home, 6 away.
Right.
6 home, 6 away.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
6 away. Oh my God, man. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think we win tonight.
Okay, Steph.
Wow. It's this team is hard to say. I mean, if you're playing the percentages, we won 4 in a row. At some point, we're going to drop 1. I think we're right for that New Orleans game because it's hard to beat a team 2 times in a row, especially so close together. I say we lose this one.
Oof.
I say we lose this one. Not having Burks is gonna hurt us.
It is.
Because it's your show tonight, I'm gonna give you a mulligan tonight. I'm gonna give you a mulligan tonight. But if we win, you make sure you're on Sim's show so that we can, discuss it and everything. So
yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to head up out of here.
Andy.
Oh, Andy, my fault. Andy, I'm tripping.
Yeah, now you jump on him like you jump on me, all right?
I was actually happy you're not gonna ask me because I think I'm gonna grow with Steph on this one.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
No,
okay.
At least it's gonna be a hard one. But going back just in one sentence to the RJ thing, the only problem with RJ is his shooting percentage. He's taking still good shots. He's rarely taking bad shots. He's just not making them. But he always adds that, those extra stats and rebounds, steals, good defense, and stuff like that. So, him having a bad game for fans to say it's only about the shooting percentage. Nothing else changes in his game.
Right. That's a good point.
That get, out of the way. So it's not like we are RJ haters.
Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading over to the Queen's Court, so please make sure you check us there. See you in a couple of minutes. Well, remember, the show starts at 5. The link is in the chat, and it's also pinned to the top of the chat. So catch us over there, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here. Be peaceful, spread love, and we'll see you in a few.